Good morning and welcome back to Time Attack 2025. As some of you may know, we had a bit of a season off last year. We only competed till midway through the year because we wanted to focus on getting the car reliable and fast. So we've done a few changes. We've now gone to a CSS block, which hopefully will fix our head gasket sealing issues. That was always our problem previously. As soon as we turned up the boost, we just blew the head gasket. So fingers crossed, that's good. We've been out testing a couple of weeks ago. And drove around all day long and the car was faultless. So we're hoping for good things this season. We've moved on to the Yokohama slick tyre now from the Pirelli. So we're on a A005 soft, which will be an interesting tyre to see how we get on. They're already in the tyre blankets, getting them warm. We've got to get them to 80 degrees, which is kind of the target temperature to get them on track. You might see this, we've got the car on a preheater now as well, just to try and help the life of everything. So that brings the water temperature up to 60 degrees in the car as well. And then that's it, the rest of the car's unchanged. We've got switchable maps now, so my plan is to run the car at 1 bar to start with, which is about 480 horsepower. And then I've got the facility to wind it all the way up to 700 horsepower if we need it. But obviously, lower the power, the more reliable it'll be. So we'll just see how we get on. As you can see, it's pretty cold and windy today. So we've taped up one of the rear ducts to make sure that we get the car up to temperature. And we're just going to go out there and have some fun and see how we get on.
So, welcome to the Tegiwa trade stand for 2025. This is our standard setup that you'll find throughout the year. We'll be at all the Time Attack shows. This is modified live at Cadwell Park, so the first one of the year. We've got loads of products that we sell on displays. We've got coilovers, wheels, Tegiwa parts, brakes, all the good stuff. We've got Kaya's EK9 just over here. And we've also got Steve's K24 EP3. He was on track in this yesterday, and now it's on our stand. So really good to have this on, really good car, loads of power. For 2025, we've teamed up with Lucas. We've got a trade partnership and we'll be selling selected products from Lucas throughout the day. And this will go through all shows at Time Attack in 2025. We also have an exclusive show discount that we run throughout the day. If you pick up a fly, it's got a discount code on it. You can use that code until Wednesday the following week. You can get one of them at all the shows that we'll be doing this year. But this is our trade stand. Tsuki is out in about half an hour or so. So let's go and find somewhere to watch her.
This year, right?
Yeah, there's a lot there. I mean, we've got our eye on Luke. You know, we can't not think about Luke and Tsuki. They're definitely ones in my head to beat. But that doesn't mean that someone's not going to come and surprise us. Tons of even.
monstrous that it still looks wide even next to Mick Porter's GTR. So that's quite an achievement. You can see, oh, that's a cool little gaggle of cars. Luke Sanjakovsky in the Honda NSX, Ilya Krylov there, and Mick Porter in that 35 GTR. Mick Porter, of course, used to run a 32 GTR.
So we're just out for Luke's second session, Attack 1, and we're stood this side of the mountain, like on the infield. We saw the car go up and then up again, and we're just about to show Luke the picture he's asked to see. So the first look for Luke, this was you taking off, and then this was you airborne.
Jesus.
So you were fully like...
It fell, like, it went off the jump like it normally does, but then it went again.
Yeah, well, me and Mitch were watching it, like you say, it went up and then the wind got it. And me and Mitch looked at each other and went, did that just happen? Because we thought you'd Mark Webbered it. We were like, he's backflip Tsuki. But yeah, like compared to the 2021, you were like a smidge.
Yeah.
And now you're...
Airborne.
The spoiler saved your life, I think. Yeah, there we go. How is it going so far then, Luke?
We're doing well. First session out, I had a nightmare. So yesterday we went through everything, gearbox, everything. This morning did exactly the same. Drove down to the assembly area, gearbox all working fine. As soon as I go out on track, can't get any gears. It's all done by compressed air and actuators, and there's an actuator on top of the gearbox, and the DT connector in it, the wire had snapped, so sadly that took all of the first session to get fixed. I managed to do one lap right at the end just to get a feeling for the car. Second session was good. I just went out, flat out from the out lap, and did a 128, mid 128s, and yeah, the car felt brilliant. But then, as the session went on, when I was starting to go quicker, every time I did a purple sector 1, midway through sector 2, I'd then lose gears again. And my compressor that creates the air to make the shifter work is overheating. So, yeah, nightmare, all about gear shifting. But managed to get through the session, got a couple of good laps, so we were second in that session, half a second off the guy leading. But like I said, I had a purple sector that was 1.5 seconds up, so I'm confident we've got a lot more in it. The lap records are 126 something. It's been held for years, so that's still in the targets.
Do you think it's comparable compared to driving Tsuki here last time out, or?
Well, we didn't come here last year because we went to Japan and it clashed. So it's been a few years, and then back then we were right in the thick of developing the car, so it was constant issues and recoveries and everything else. I've got more used to the car. The engines work faultlessly so far today, so I think, yeah, I just need more seat time and just keep driving it around.
Obviously, you've done 3 or 4 rallies since you've last driven Tsuki in anger. Is it weird?
Not really. It feels like my car. Yeah, when I got in it over the winter for some testing, when I first got in it then, it was a bit, oh, this is fast and a bit scary, but no, now, like, because my seat's so tight and my steering wheel's my steering wheel, everything just feels like mine, so I'm quite confident with the car. I know what it's going to do, when it's going to do it. Well, in theory, and it just feels completely different to rallying. So it's not, you don't cross the two things over. With the Evo, I had a gear stick. With this, I've got paddles.
I suppose your lines are totally different. You're not aiming for potholes and.
Yeah, and I've got 40 shouting at me where to go and stuff. So, no, it just feels way different, and yeah, it feels brilliant. Like the tyres I was well impressed with, because we had tyre blankets on whilst we were up here, but being Cadwell, there's no garages. By the time we got onto track, the tyres had dropped to 40 degrees. So they were in the blankets at 80 degrees, dropped to 40 degrees by the time we got on track, but they were still fast and ready to go. So like I say, I think I set my fastest lap on my first flying lap.
So what's this afternoon, Luke?
We've got 2 more sessions this afternoon. Yeah, they're when the big points start coming in, so hopefully we can get some good results and get a lap record by the end of the day.
Right, so good luck, mate.
Thank you. we're just getting ready to go out for the final session of the day. Had a bit of ups and downs throughout the day really. Obviously first session, I mentioned earlier, we had a gear actuator problem. Second session was good, but I then had a compressor problem again to do with my gears. So I was having to cycle the kill, but it was lasting about 3 laps. Anyway, into the session after that, the problems just got worse and I couldn't even do a lap. I wasn't able to string a complete lap together without having to cycle the kill. And obviously by the time you cycle the kill and turned it on and got going again, it's just lost your time. So we finished that session in 5th, but our predictive time is really good. So we've now bypassed everything and I've got a toggle switch. The only problem with the toggle switch is I have to monitor the pressure on a gauge and I have to turn it on and off when the needle's moving. So something else to think about whilst I'm going out there, but hopefully we can do that and get through this final session and get a good time in. So, just finished the final session. We managed to get a P1, which we're over the moon with. Obviously, the day's been a bit of a battle, as we said earlier. So in that session, I had a toggle switch that I had to keep looking at a little dial in the footwell. And when the dial got to 10, I'd turn the toggle off. And when the dial dropped to 6, I'd turn the toggle on. So I was doing that and yeah, driving it around. And then also, we've realised now that we're going a lot faster and being able to do a lot more laps, we're running out of fuel. So towards the end of the session, we were starting to get fuel surge as well. So yeah, amazing day. The fact that the lads managed to get me through the day and do that in the final session was amazing. Tyres I'm amazed with. They've just had so much grip even though the weather's really cold now. All in all, good end to a day. So we're at Donington in 3 weeks' time, which is, I'm really looking forward to. That's our home circuit. And yeah, I can't wait to get flying around there. It's going to be a real good circuit for Tsuki with the aero. So we'll see how we get on.
Today's pro winner is Luke Senjakowski. Thank you, everyone. That's it. Do you want to say a word, or you don't have to?